Okay, I've been waiting for this order. I've ordered the 2H3 in green. I wasn't sure if I would care for it, but I figured the girls might like it. But I'm happy with it. It's a nice color. Of course, I ordered the mic and 5 of these whip antennas. Let me just compare them in length. About 7 inches longer than the rubber ducky. Now, physically, it will always work better physically. However, the benefit of it is still depending on the ground plane. So to get really good results, I know some people have decided to find a chassis ground and put a 19-inch wire on it. And according to their demos that they did, it seemed to make an improvement. But I can't see myself walking around with a piece of wire on it. And when hiking or in a tight quarter, I would say that this antenna, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit further. Yeah. That this antenna is a little bit too long. I have to admit, this is a comfortable length. It works. And if I need better range than that, you're better off with a mag mount, 5/8 whip or something of that sort if you need the range. Or you get a higher power unit like the H8, but you have to be a licensed ham for that. And I also tested this mic. Unfortunately, something's wrong with this mic. It's defective. I'm talking to TidRadio about it to see if they can exchange this. So the little bit that I managed to test with it, I notice it picks up the background a lot. So, for example, if you're talking to someone driving and they have road noise, you'll hear it. Where without it, you won't hear it. So it does pick up and emphasizes the background. I assume it's probably a wire dynamic audio range. So in comparison to my ICOM mic, I can't recommend it. That's something I would not want. So if you don't need one, don't bother. The audio quality is great, and everything is compact. These units came with, I think it was the April version of the firmware. And it just so happened we have a new firmware release, which is May 30th. And I updated all my H3s to the 530 device. I haven't had a chance to play with it to find out what improvements it has made. There's one thing I just noticed only a few minutes ago when I was testing. It seems like the S meter, let me see if I can demonstrate this, as if the S meter is actually reading. Let me see. Okay, not there. I just noticed I was listening to a signal and there was about 1 or 2 bars showing up. So it's the first time I've noticed that. It'd be great if that is fixed, because it certainly is nice to have an S meter indication, give you an idea just how strong the signal is. It just doesn't make sense to have an S meter, no matter how weak or how strong, full scale. So that could be fixed, I'm sure, with a firmware. But I will watch out for it and see. Right now, everything is quiet, so I can't prove it right now, one way or the other. And I'll do a quick show on how to update the firmware on this. So, regarding this antenna, very flexible, it's great. If you don't mind it being about 7 inches longer, and you're in a type of environment where you're not going to get hooked in the bushes with it, yeah, it will work. Any antenna that's physically longer is going to work better. How much better? Well, that's going to depend on your body, your ground plane, counterpoise, whatever you want to call it. If you do try this little trick, I would be careful. Find a chassis, ground, and hook to it. The antenna, you probably can squeeze it under the antenna and do a little bit of tests. Even if it worked really good, for me, I wouldn't bother because I just don't want to be carrying a piece of wire. So, just my little 2 cents worth. May not be worth much, but at least a penny. I have to say my favorite radio so far is still the H8. I like the size, it's just perfect, the keypad, the screen, and it handles all the ham bands, the GMRS bands, and that won't cover as much as the H3, but personally I'm not interested in 27 megahertz or 28 megahertz on these handhelds. The sensitivity on that would be like very bad, so you need really strong signals probably to hear anything. The 220 actually transmits now. I think the update fixed that because there was one update where it would not allow me to transmit on 220, the 1.25. It's a ham band. But I believe they all do now with the update. 6 meters, no, strictly receive. Same with 10 meters and 27, strictly receive. And on OD Master, every time I had any of those frequencies, it would eliminate it or tell me you can't program it. I will show you on OD Master, it doesn't eliminate those other frequencies. So it'll be a quick picture of that to prove it, as I will upload it. And also with Chirp. Chirp has been updated and it seems to work better. Okay, before I show you the firmware update, I just want to illustrate. Unfortunately, there's only 2 options for me. I have the radio, which is a short click.
Possible investment scam? Understanding and recognizing the red flags of fraud can help you protect yourself. Whether you are...
I gotta click short first, then hold the next one long to get a weak signal. So that's the compromise I made. I like the H8 because I have more functions. There has not been no update since last year for the H8. And so as a result, I can't not set the monitor to one of the short buttons so far. Okay, let me show you the firmware. I launched OD Master, the web version. I opened my last saved file, and let's take a look at it to see what's on there right now. FRS, stations, GMRS, and for some reason I have some weather stations in there. So I have 2 empty ones. These I eventually will eliminate. And let's look at, I think I should have a 50 megahertz. There you go. There's the 1 1/4. Before it wouldn't allow me to have this entered and saved. There's the channel 9 CB calling frequency for channel for 10 meters. Okay, let's do a read and see if it maintains the same. As far as I recall, it should be exactly the same, because I've written using this file to all the radios on the H3, testing them out. Okay, and let's scroll back down. Looks the same. There you go, still there. So the 2024 May 30th update fixed that. There is a couple of things I've noticed in the stun code and the kill code. Let's say I put in 1920 and I write with that stun code, and then I read back. Every time I tried different digits, it came back with 1924 instead of 1920. So I was not too pleased with that. The code I put in is not the code it writes to the radio, and when I read it back, sure enough, so I've eliminated. So right now, don't enter the stun code or the kill code until this matter is resolved. And everything else seems to be the same. Unfortunately, these features do not get properly set. Okay, this one does work, and the auto lock will work. And Bluetooth. The dual band features that you have to turn on, I have to go in and turn it on. So, oh, it looks like someone's cutting the grass there. Hopefully you don't hear it. Okay, so that's good. Let's go try. This is the latest version of Chirp. This maybe about 4 or 5 days ago. Okay, this Chirp, of course, doesn't support Bluetooth, so I'm going to have to get the cables. Hold on. I'm using the mic cable, the Kenwood cable. It will also work with the USB. Just this one was handy. And just to let you know, all this I'm doing is on Sonoma Mac OS. I'm using a 16-inch M1 chip MacBook Pro. So no issues. Okay, let's prove that. I can go to radio, and I guess everything is on. Download from radio. Oh, it did. I'm gonna have to turn that on and off. Hold on. Yeah, it's funny how the ports are so finicky. It shouldn't be like that. There you go. You would think it will list all the ports, but maybe it's this way of saying, yeah, do that so we know we grab the right port. Who knows? Okay, let's try. Okay, there you go. I've done this already. Same frequencies that I programmed, and the very two that are blank. Oh, eventually these will be gone, the weather ones. And settings, basically the same. There is a few settings that I would have to turn on. I don't know why I keep saying forbid receive, because that was not the settings on my unit. So there is a couple of conflicts. And just of interest to others, get a list of your local FM stations, and then you can enter it in here, and this way you can listen to these FM radios if that's of interest to you, especially when you're camping or something of that sort and you want to listen to the news using your handheld. So I can write to it. The only thing is, if I do, I lose the dual display. I have to go in and set a few things. And likewise with AM, it turns it, it's on right now, but it turns it to off. So there's about 4 or 5 settings that every time I write to these radios, whether it be Chirp or whether it be with OD Master, it's even worse with the OD Master iOS. So what I usually do is set one up, and then I do a wireless copy to all my other radios. Quickest way. Okay, I will show you quickly how to do a firmware update again. Again, that is finicky. There's a procedure you gotta go by, just like the ports. Okay. I am using a MacBook Pro 15-inch. It's an Intel chip. 2017, I believe, is the year. And I have Windows installed using Apple Boot. So it's speed-wise will be the same as if it was a Windows laptop. Okay, this is, of course, I've showed on my previous how to go to walkie-talkie site, log in, and then select software, and then select which radio you want. H3, they have the ham, GMRS, and unlocked. I would recommend the unlock. And you download that, and let me just launch this. I'm going to open the file. There is 240530. Open it. Let's see. No com. That's typical. Okay, let me grab. Where did I put it? Oh, there it is. Okay. Unfortunately, you need Windows to do the firmware install. There's no Mac option. And you can't use the USB. Some people claim you can, but I have yet to see that. So I'm using the Kenwood cable. So now I'm going to plug in. I believe I got to turn the radio off. Plug into the port. And then I got to hit start. And then hold the push to talk button. In other words, you're transmitting, and turn the unit on. Okay, let's hit start. Oh, what happened there? I didn't have that issue. Okay, let's try this again. Okay. There we go. Basically, I had to do push to talk and turn power up, then shut everything off again, and then the port shows up. The last 2 times it was a little bit different routine, but that's the way it works. Okay, let's hit start, turn the power on. There we go, we're downloading it, and then you can release the push to talk. I've seen people spend hours, download it, successful. There you go. Spend hours even bricking their unit because they were reading online that there's a bad connection with this unit, and so they're pushing it. One person ended up cutting all the plastic so he can push it in further, and then he basically killed his radio, shorting it out. And he held the push to talk the whole time. Yeah, it's very archaic. I think it is. I hope TidRadio will do this properly for firmware update. Make it available either through USB, and so this way you can do it regardless what app you have, or Mac OS. The procedure is crazy. But anyways, it works. And so far, I haven't blown anything doing it. Okay. I hope this kind of reminder helps. It looks like it fixed some things, and I have not even read about it yet. So I'm hoping the estimator works on it. I don't know if I was imagining it last time, but we shall see. Oh, let me unplug this. Okay, yeah. And the firmware did not affect my settings. Oops, I guess I have to. Oh, that's not what. There you go. Let's take a quick look. Yeah, it's on. It's on. I usually like everything off except for, see this? I thought I turned this on last time, but there you go. Oh, wrong way. Oh, let's see what the version, 24.05.30, good. I usually turn this off, but it doesn't bother me, so I just leave it on now. Sync has this good. Yeah, I like a quiet radio. So, look, auto lock. I tried that for a while, but it was irritating. Every 12 seconds, it would lock. So I'm usually playing around with it, or just pausing in between doing things, and oh, it locks. So I have it off now. It was too irritating, 12 seconds. And it doesn't give you the option to increase it, maybe like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, or 5 minutes. So that's a feature that they could improve on. Otherwise, it's 12 seconds. It's just too irritating. Okay. Yeah, this is important for dual watch. Don't like the voice. This is important. There's the dual weight. You have to have that on. Beep. Oh, turn off. Most irritating. I guess if I had vision problems or something like that, or maybe it'd be ideal. It has a place for certain people. So, but it would be nice if I set it off. It's safe. It remembers it and stays that way when updating or downloading from OD Master. Normally it's 5. Okay. So far, I can't complain about the H3. I still got a lot of testing to do. I've been so busy with so many other projects, but a little bit I have used, it's great. The only disappointment I have with TidRadio was that mic. I received a defective mic. It's obviously defective, and hopefully TidRadio will fix that. And it's another thing I placed, 3-4 orders. And the last 2 orders, I ordered an extra cradle dock charger and paid for it, $5, whatever, $6, somewhere in that range, and it doesn't come. It doesn't arrive with the rest of the orders, and I'm telling them about it. In fact, the last order, those 2 green H3s, I ordered an extra dock, and when the package arrived, everything was there. There was one dock that came with the 2 radios. When I looked at the image when I placed the order, I thought I saw 2 docks, but maybe there was only one dock. Okay. It wouldn't make sense. I don't think I ever saw a package where there was no docks included with the 2 sets. And of course, I ordered a second dock at the same time. Hasn't arrived. I advised TidRadio to tell them to look into it. They did send me a picture, and they say, "Yeah, we send you a dock." And yeah, it's the one that came in with the 2 radios, not the one I ordered. So eventually, I guess it will get taken care of. I have still one more order coming in. I ordered the radios that are strictly for GMS, and in other words, you don't have to have a license nowhere. You can use that out of the box. For those who want to avoid the hassle of H3, depending on what country they're in, I'm going to review those, see what they're like. Price is good, and it's UHF, which is what you want for local communication. In Canada, there's no repeaters allowed, but I believe in the States you're allowed. In Canada, you can't replace the rubber ducky antenna. You can in the States, and you have a higher power limit, but in Canada, you're only allowed 2, so it's a 2-watt unit, and the rubber ducky is all 1 unit, so you can't unscrew it. So it makes it legit for Canadian users. But probably not the ideal radio for the States. I would say the H8 is the better way to go, especially if you're a ham, and then you have the GMRS license that's required. I believe it's just an application, no funds involved, and it's a family certificate. In other words, once you have one for your household, everyone in your family can use it. So just check your local regulation depending where you are, and choose what you feel you'll be comfortable with. So I hope this helps. I like to encourage my viewers, if you're enjoying any of this or you have any input, feel free to do so. I'm still learning, and I could appreciate subscribing, because by subscribing, you're telling me that you like it and you're looking forward to more stuff. Our site is going to be varied. It'll have ham equipment, VHF, UHF, HF antennas, RV, camping, Victron systems, and I know I have a lot of pictures I took years ago from a lot of my hikes, but this time when we do hike, we'll use more videos this time, because I didn't know I was going to be on YouTube or I was going to use it for. But yeah, and equipment, ice fishing, yeah, and summer fishing, and any equipment that makes camping and RVing great that we use. So it's a good mixture, and feel free to look through the list of videos that are there. I had about 300. I removed most of them when I first started. I uploaded 300 and then removed most of them, and I'll be redoing some of those, but no rush for it. I'll try to keep current. Have a nice day. Thank you again. Please subscribe.